Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Weekly OJ. Today I've got Edgar and Jeffrey with me. We're missing the Big O. He'll be with us next week. He's out getting a car, I'm assuming, right?
I think so.
Hopefully.
You too, buddy.
That way you can be here on time. All right, so today we're going to be covering Eminem and his calling out of Nick Cannon from Nickelodeon. Badass. We're going to be going over porn. Should America ban all porn in America? After that, we're going to be going over Star Wars, which releases today, and we're going to figure out, or we're just going to discuss whether or not we think the movie's going to be good. And finally, if we get to it, we're going to be discussing impeachment. A lot of people are very angry. A lot of people are very happy. Jeffrey is in the middle.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, so that's what we got going on today on Weekly OJ. All right, so first to start off, the one that has the best explanation of this is Jeff. I don't know the specifics of the whole Eminem thing, but I'm down to give my 2 cents on it.
Eminem feud with Nick Cannon, of everybody in the world, I guess. It all stemmed about like 7 years ago, I think, or 8 years ago. He did a diss track with Mariah Carey.
Why was it just like out of nowhere? He just randomly dissed Mariah?
I guess I'm not 100% an expert on it, but he said that he dated Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey said, "You're crazy. You never dated me. You wish." And then Eminem said, "What the hell are you talking about? We dated for like 3 months." And then Eminem was like, "We're going back and forth with her." And then he released a song saying, pretty much, "F that bitch. I f her too." And then Mariah Carey dissed him on a song. Mariah Carey, according to everybody, Mariah Carey won that battle.
Nah.
She f***ing destroyed him. She got...
I know the song that he's talking about.
I saw it the other day. I was like, let me see what everybody's talking about. It's a good song, but it's not like
subliminal messages.
Oh, got him back.
Oh, but she did 2 tracks back to back, and then Eminem stopped replying.
Yeah, but it wasn't...
Dude, how...
That means you won.
Dude, are you kidding me? They're calling this guy the god of rap. You think he's...
The god of rap, but he got beat by a pop star. The only L he has is with Mariah Carey. The only L. The only one. If nobody has beaten him...
If your little cousin comes at you, just starts hitting you, and you're just like, you won.
What? He said...
Like,
he said keep going... He said keep going at it, and...
Mariah's just like...
And then I'm going to post... He said he has audio of him and her... You know,
oh yeah, she leaves a message, right?
And then he has audio of him and her talking, and then messages and stuff like that he was supposed to release. He never did. Maybe out of being a courtesy or gentleman.
Song, were they of her, or was it?
Yeah, there's audio of her in the song, but they were.
That sounds like an impersonator, though. It sounds
supposedly
like
it is.
Mariah Carey, but not like her.
I don't know. It sounds kind of like her.
And then, so that was 7 years ago. He took the L.
Even that, it sounds like a bad case of fool got dumped and didn't want to let it go. Like, what the hell was he going after?
Well, this is Eminem we're talking about. Slim Shady.
Oh no, after Kim,
he's been through a lot of stuff, so he's not all there.
After Kim, he's like, "Baby, don't go."
And then 7 years later, he comes in a song with Fat Joe, Mary J. Blige, and he disses Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey again, saying she hits the notes better when he's doing her. And Nick Cannon doesn't take it lightly. He had already came at him, and they kind of gave the truth. You know, they did a truce. And it was called the quits. And then now with this new war starting, Nick Cannon is saying he set the whole thing up, and he told Fat Joe, get Eminem on that song and let him say whatever he wants, and then that's gonna give me ammunition to go at him. So Fat Joe said it's not true, it's bullshit. I let the genius do whatever he wanted. That's what he did, and we published it. Fat Joe says, I'm not involved, I'm friends with both of them, and I don't want any part of this beef. And then 50 Cent says he better shut up or he's going after Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon says, Eminem, come on wildin' out and see what you got. Let's see if you could really rap, and let's see if you could be the really freestyle king that you say you are. Then Eminem obviously didn't respond. He sent a couple of messages through Twitter. 50 Cent got invited next. 50 Cent hasn't commented
He's been
or
on there before, hasn't he?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
I feel like he has.
So
I don't think so.
So then somebody, I don't remember who, said that Nick Cannon needs to relax, or 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar,
Joyner Lucas.
a couple other cats are gonna go all after Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon released 2 diss tracks, The Invitation canceled, and The Invitation canceled, and I think there's one more.
Yeah, both trash.
Yeah, there's 2 songs that apparently both called the same thing. Yeah, Invitation canceled and Invitation canceled, but one is a song just with Nick Cannon by himself, which is decent. It's a decent song. It just has a lot of words that we can't say in the show because it's towards
Hate.
women's of color.
Oh.
And
Really?
That one.
yeah. And pretty much it's an audio recording of Eminem dissing black girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he puts it in as his hook. That song is actually okay.
Wait, Eminem?
Eminem is dissing
Yeah, why would Nick
Black
Cannon?
girls?
black girls, and
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, why?
It's to
would you
make
do
him
that?
look bad.
and then he makes Eminem look bad, and then he pulls out the most political and the most talked about thing these couple months, which is Eminem is a guest in hip hop community, shouldn't be here. Let's kick him out. Thanks to what's that guy's name?
Jamar.
Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar said Nick Cannon. Lord Jamar said Eminem is only a guest, and we have him here, and he's eating the whole plate, and he could not be in our table. Which is, who's Lord Jamar? And what has he done for hip hop? Besides being in one of the biggest groups there is of the hip hop community, but we don't think Lord Jamar is substantial to even run his own record. You know, he hasn't had any success.
So yeah, who is he to say?
in the music business besides being part of the group, and
Wait, part of what group?
he's part of
The Army of the Pharaohs?
no with Redman and Method Man.
Wu-Tang?
He's part of Wu-Tang.
And he's claiming that he was one of the guys that started this. Wu-Tang was just like a personality. It was just like a different East Coast version. They didn't like start anything.
No. He's not saying he started anything.
But so who is he?
Lord
to say
Jamar
he
is
can sit at
saying
the
that
table, though?
Eminem is not someone that should be
Like
in the group in the top 10 because he's just a guest.
he's been allowed in, but
He's been allowed in. He's not. He's a
But
person
technically, everybody's a guest, or is it just people of color?
because people of color are allowed in because it's what they created.
Oh.
So Lord Jamar says when you bring somebody into your house, you give them the biggest bedroom, you give them the best food.
That's a horrible
and you
argument.
serve him.
That argument that cuts against everything that
That's not what hip hop is about. It's
Yeah, that
inclusivity.
cuts against everything that's like what politically correct stands for, right? Because politically correct is basically just, you know what?
But hip hop isn't politically correct.
Well, that's what he's trying to get at. Well, it's not politically correct, but it's a narrative that says that
It's not closed either.
Well, it's not, because in reality, hip hop was started.
Yeah, but it's not about
slums.
who started it. It's about the culture. It's not about who started it.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is, look, okay, so it would be turn the tables around. Let's say there was like a white version of rap, okay?
Yeah, that's what Nick Cannon says in his.
Pop is white.
Nick Cannon says that in his verse.
Okay,
he says that Eminem wishes he was a Christopher Columbus and he discovered rap, but he's not.
But he didn't. Eminem never said that.
No, he doesn't,
He
but
acknowledges
he's
that there's people ahead of him.
Okay, but
Yes, but what the conversation is that Nick Cannon is giving the upper hand to Lord Jamar and saying he was right. Lord Jamar is right. Why do we want this cat that picks fights with girls and somebody from Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
which to be honest with you, their first
When
track.
they talk about Haley and Kim, so they bash on him for talking about women, but they do the exact same thing.
Well, yeah, but you're already in the beef.
Yeah, but you see though, you're getting yourself stuck in the mud now. It's like, so you have no reason to be talking like that.
But you got a reason to be dissing.
If you got
now they're
that
going,
you got mud on you, yeah.
Now they're going back and forth, so everything is fair game.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, but they bash them though for certain things, and it's like they do the exact same thing. It's like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, look. First of all, I love my boy M. Okay, but it's his fault. Okay, the one of the things that I have always thought about Eminem, even back in the day when he was a total badass, was exactly that. This fool calls out the wackest people out there, and has no challengers. He calls out Backstreet Boys. He calls out NSYNC. He calls out Christina Aguilera. He calls out.
Yeah, but isn't he? It's more just like picking on them.
The only
people,
they're like that. They're like the popular crowd, and MJ's just the outcast. Just like, hey, watch this.
Yeah, but the only people that he ever went up against toe to toe with were not even toe to toe. Was when he got dragged into things. He got dragged into the Ja Rule beef because of 50 Cent. He never really had a beef that was his own. And when
he's had beef that are his own.
Nothing that would. And as soon as it got real, he backed out of it. When his boy, what's his face, I forget what his name is, got shot up. That's when he came out with Toy Soldier. He's like, what am I doing? Because Dre was the one that was always telling him to stay out of that stuff. But M's constantly, if you listen to his music, M's constantly saying, man, I'm constantly trying to go at it with somebody because that's what gives me hype.
That's how he stays relevant.
Yeah, that's how he stays relevant.
So that's one of the conversations that I want to really focus on.
It's not just relevancy either, though. It's that he's good at that.
He is good at that.
Defending himself.
But is that all he's good at? Like I want to see M doing great hip hop, not attacking people. Like
no, Eminem's just good at attacking people.
Well, yeah, but is that all you want for hip hop?
Well, no, that's.
You guys pay attention to his lyrics?
Yeah, I mean, I never said his lyrics are
crazy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But that his best music, aside, with the exception of the one album that came out with Spaceship. What album was that one?
The Kamikaze?
No, it was. He came out with one album that was like right after his homie died. That was actually pretty good. But other than that, all his albums have been nothing but attack albums, and those are the best albums that have succeeded for him. And then, yeah, I think he came out with Kamikaze, and that blew up, and that was because he was going after.
Well, yeah, but that's straight dissing people.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Eminem has always shined when he's going after people. He's picking on people.
And that's his strength.
And that's his strength.
That is, but everybody.
And that's what.
Yeah, but why? Then why do you bash him on that?
No,
it's like, yeah, he's talking. But it's like, pay attention to the lyrics as well. It's not just him talking shit on people. It's also very creative what he does.
Yeah, well, that's how he. Unfortunately, that is how he came up. I mean, you watch 8 Mile. That was his whole thing.
That's not his fault though. All he's doing is talking about his life. That's what the people enjoyed. The people enjoyed that struggle and his little Cinderella story.
Yes and no. Well, that's what I'm saying. See, so
because it's not him putting the stuff out there and then collecting. Nah, it's people buying all this stuff, going to his concerts, getting his CDs.
Yeah, but
it's not all his fault either.
Yeah, but he's talented enough to come out with music that isn't just attacking, and you know this because he came out with songs like Stan. Stan was like one of his biggest songs, and that was just pretty much him talking about some guy that was going through it. Eminem is very musically talented that he can do those songs. It's just that for whatever reason, when he starts to tank, he comes out with these attack songs out of the blue for no reason on random people that it doesn't make any sense. He went after Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's from Nickelodeon.
Drummer boy.
Mariah Carey. I mean, who does that? Like out of the blue, and then Nick Cannon comes back with a video, and then Eminem's just silent. It's like, I mean, I love the guy, but dude, I mean, you're trying so hard to stay relevant. You're talented. Come out with stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, but do you understand his status? Like it literally doesn't even bug him.
I get
everything that you're saying. He's up there. He's on his mountain. He's just like, you guys talk whatever you want. He's just stirring the pot. That's all he's doing. He's just stirring the pot, and he runs back to his mountain. Like,
how good is that? How in hip hop the culture is you're a badass, you're a tough guy. That's hip hop culture. Yeah.
No, that's gangster rap.
Well, it's the same thing.
Hip hop. Hip hop. You're there to have fun. You're not there to cause.
Okay, so this is our same conversation that we had last time.
It's to have fun. You have fun at a party.
Yeah,
right?
but hip hop is no. I'm talking about the music in general. Is a little more party. Eminem is more rap.
Masculine, of course, it's masculine, but it doesn't mean that it's like, oh yeah, we're about thuggish or.
But they are. They talk about being thuggish and being gangsters.
They stretch the truth.
Yeah, but
they say you can never lie, but you can stretch the truth.
50 Cent, The Game, they never stretch the truth. When they're about it, you're about it. If you're not about it, don't be about it.
There's gangster life, though. That's not hip-hop. That's gangster rap. Hip-hop is different.
But Eminem's part of the gangster rap.
Gangster rap is different.
M is part of gangster rap.
Yeah, I think
he's able to jump wherever he wants.
Well, yeah, but then
he didn't
in the gangster rap community, jumping
he didn't stem out from
around,
gangster rap though. He was in it, but he didn't stem out from
when you're in it, you can't be out. Come on,
it's not a gang.
It's not a gang, but it's the way of your. If that's what you're taking an approach to, and then you're like, first you want to attack people, and then you want to step out and be like, whoa, I'm not part of that. But you already started attacking people, and then you're being all tough and having beefs with people, and you're having beef with let's say he was having beef with Benzino. Benzino is known to be a thuggish guy, known to be from the streets. What do you think a guy from the street is if you're talking shit about his family?
No, I get that, but you're talking about Eminem, who just doesn't.
That
care.
doesn't matter.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying the way he was brought up, like he does the things he does because of that's just who he is.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go to some street thug, some gangster, and be like, oh, you think you're tough? Like, I know I'm not tough. I mean, I can defend myself, but I'm not tough like that.
Yeah, I think the whole.
It's just Eminem is just crazy. He's
yeah, but
stupid like
the whole I don't care thing was his whole when he first started. He cares now. If you pay attention to his music,
you pay attention to what he's doing.
So Eminem's beefs are Ja Rule, Cage, Cannabis, Benzino, Everlast. Apparently, this list has Limp Bizkit on there, and on. Mariah Carey, now Nick Cannon. Machine Gun Kelly, what's the other guy's name? Who I really wanted him to beef with, and I thought he should have beef with like hardcore was that Joe Budden. Joe Budden, if you had some and would have got at it with him, you would have made some good music. But I mean, I guess you're scared of him, right? We'll see.
Oh, Budden?
Yeah.
Dude, did you see the Cypher? Back in 2012? Eminem dissed him like right off the bat.
Eminem and him have been not getting along for a while.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, dude, Eminem he has him like that, like wrapped around his finger. Like, he could destroy him whenever he wanted.
Hey, but also when
that's why Budden's like, nah, I'm not.
Hey, but Budden worked for Eminem. Budden was signed to M's label, and so how do you feel when that's why the guy from D12, what's his name, the chubby one?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember.
Bizarre said, why do you bite the hand that feeds you? Because M is the one signing his checks so Budden can get paid. Allegedly, Budden says it's not true because he's not signed to them anymore. He does his own thing, which is he has a really big podcast and pretty good show. But that was one of the ones that I was like, damn. Look, I wanted them to go at it.
Here's what this is why I think this whole thing is ridiculous. Okay, so Eminem goes after.
Yes. First and foremost, it's ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, Eminem. I forget what album it was. It was that album like right after Detox. Where
he has Infinity, the Slim Shady LP, Marshall Matters, Eminem Show, Encore, Relapse, Recovery, the Marshall Matters LP 2. Revival and Kamikaze.
So I'm almost positive it was Recovery, and in Recovery he comes out with a song where he talks about the fact that he's like, when I was heavily on drugs, he's like, I thought about going after Kanye, I thought about going after Lil Wayne, I thought about.
Everybody says that's like his worst album.
No, not the Recovery. Well,
Recovery, probably Encore.
No, the one I'm talking about. It was
Recovery Recovery and Revival. I think those two were bad.
No, the one that was bad was Relapse. Recovery.
Oh, Relapse.
Relapse was his bad one. And then he came out with Recovery because that's when he was supposedly off drugs. And that was a good album. And in that album, I like that album. But in that album, he was talking about like how he was feeling it, like the whole rap game he felt like the rap game had pushed him out, that nobody liked him anymore. And in order for him to feel like he wanted, like he was going to be relevant, he wanted to come out with diss tracks for Kanye West and Lil Wayne. He's like, but I didn't do it because they would have handed my ass to me. And it kind of gives the idea that this guy doesn't want to go after people that he knows will get him good, but he'll go after anybody that won't bite back in any way that's going to affect him devastatingly. I mean, clear example. He goes after Nick Cannon, Nick freaking Cannon from Nickelodeon, dude. Like, who does that? And Mariah Carey, like. I don't know. I love Eminem. I think Eminem is extremely talented, but I honestly think this is really stupid, and I think he realizes that. I think that's why that's why he hasn't said anything ever since Nick.
Well, he said he wanted an apology.
He wanted an
Nick
apology.
Cannon?
No, Eminem wants an apology from Nick Cannon for putting down a diss track. So everybody's like, "Are you what?
Why?
Are you crazy?"
Are you guys not listening to me? This is Marshall Mathers we're talking about.
We understand that.
Stupid, but
It doesn't mean somebody can walk and talk and be okay.
apparently,
Yeah,
I mean, get that shit backhanded to you. Yeah, but that's because he runs around with security and shit.
Yeah,
That's beside the point. I'm here to talk about Nick Cannon. Your diss track was whack. Whack as hell. You put 5 guys to help you out to do a track.
Mercenaries. He hired
and
mercenaries.
Everybody from your show was on your track, and they totally dissed the shit out of you in your own track. In your own track, they're calling you, why would you pick on Nick Cannon from Nickelodeon? They're throwing small jabs at you in your own song, guys that you pay. Come on, if you're gonna get somebody to help you, you should have got somebody to help
me.
not diss you in the process of
I don't
your
know.
track.
I think, in all honesty, I think Nick Cannon did it good because what did Eminem do in his 8 Mile movie? Remember at the end of the movie?
Yeah, he made fun of himself.
He's like, I take away all this crap. I don't really give a damn. That's my life. He's like, what else can you say? He's like, you're this, you're that, and this guy was more embarrassed than him. So Nick Cannon's like, Nick Cannon pretty much came out and said, yes, I'm the fool from Nickelodeon. You're coming after me, son. Like,
I don't know. I think it sounds worse.
I don't know.
then-
If that was me, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be like, dude, I'm a freaking 5'6" Mexican, 130-pound dude.
He's only 5'2".
I would be throwing it
We're
out
actually
there.
lowering our seats right now.
Granted, yeah, it's gonna burn me, but I'd be like, fool, like, come on, man. You know you're grasping onto straws when you gotta hang your career on me coming after someone like me. Like, come on, like, I don't know.
I think he's just doing it just to tease Nick Cannon. Like,
It's all to stay relevant, to get clout, to be on top. Which I don't blame Eminem. If this is a political or propaganda stunt for both of them, all means, just gives us something to talk
Do you
about.
guys honestly think it's for clout though? Because
Why not?
Everybody around the world loves him. You think he's struggling?
I don't think he's struggling. I don't think he's struggling at all. But that gives him ammo. That gives him hype. That gives him sales.
I
That
think he's
gives
just
him
abusing his power. It's just like,
but it makes you
screw with him.
it makes you relevant. It makes you relevant.
Yeah, but any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly, and when you're trying to get your numbers up and your album on the charts and diss track here, diss track there, jabs here, jabs there, hey,
Yeah,
it
but
brings
it's
everything up.
Cannon, though.
Your views up, your money's up.
In all honesty, like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I feel not messed up. I feel kind of bad saying it, but I think it's true. I think Eminem just suffers from loneliness. That fool's always been miserable for like the longest
You got 3
time.
friends right here, bro.
You know, he lost his homie. He can't make it work with Kim. He's got his daughter, but I mean, you know, for the most part, I don't know. This fool just to me, it seems like unless he's in the spotlight, he feels like he's, you know, struggling or something inside. That's why he struggles with drugs so much, and then he comes out with recovery, and then he comes out with I relapsed.
Did he ever formally have a beef with Jadakiss?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they had that beef when it was they did that song. Well, this was more towards 50 Cent, but Eminem obviously dissed Jadakiss on his last track because he names everybody that he disses, right? KOs.
Yeah, but what is
Jada
he? How
Kiss.
does he diss Jada Kiss? Because if I remember, it was just like give Jada a kiss or something like
Yeah,
that.
'cause
Like,
he-
It was a double meaning. Like, it wasn't dissing him, like, it was just using it and just twisted it.
I think he's trying to diss him. Like, these are everybody that, because he said this is everybody that tried to beef with me, and where are they now? I'm just saying that would have been a good response, Jadakiss. You should have hit it up.
Yeah,
Made you a little bit more relevant, put out an album, you know? Well, that's how they do it. What happened to Machine Gun Kelly?
What happened?
Yeah, he made a couple diss tracks with Eminem. They went back and forth. Then he
Yeah,
made.
see, now that is clout chasing.
Yeah, but that's smart clout chasing. You're a business person. You're hip hop. You're an artist. You're trying to stay relevant.
Yeah, but you guys
go back and
you
forth.
guys give Eminem crap for clout chasing. Here are these other little guys.
But
trying-
these are puppies compared to Eminem. What are you gonna expect?
Yeah, but I guess the clout doesn't stop.
The cloud never stops.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think what sucks about that is we don't get good music. We just get a bunch of crap and a bunch of people.
Yeah, I liked Eminem's Kamikaze
Yeah,
album was pretty good.
Every once in a while, you get a good one out there. I mean, then you get some highlights like Tupac and Biggie's beef, but that's when it's like real stuff. But other than that,
that's what I'm telling you.
You get
when
Eminem,
you gotta be from the street, you're from the street.
Yeah, but then you get some whack stuff like Eminem calling out freaking Nick Cannon, and I'm like, that doesn't make me feel hard. That makes me feel.
And that verse wasn't even that great, Em.
Yeah.
That verse in that song was whack.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Is he was just probably just like
he was messing around, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm over it. All right, so on to the next topic. So now we're gonna be talking about whether or not America should ban porn in America. Now this was brought up because yeah, no, this was because a fellow what is it? I don't know, he's not a YouTuber. He works for the Daily Wire. His name is all right. So this was brought up in a video by Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, where he goes over he, for whatever reason, he brought up this. I didn't get to watch the video. I just heard about it from a bunch. It like blew up the internet for a little while there. And he pretty much just talks about how he believes that porn should be banned from America, or America should ban porn because of its effects on teenagers and men as they grow. And basically goes over like the chemical reactions that happen in a man's brain, everything that stems from this massive abuse of porn that's been going on in America, with divorce rates going up, or not divorce rates going up, but just a lot of divorces happening because of struggling marriages happening because of porn. You got kids struggling with different defects because of porn. You got
defects. What the hell are you doing?
Like I forget what it is, but.
Trying to do the
like kinky stuff?
No, like it gives you like not ED, but you get PE, premature ejaculation.
Oh,
like different things develop when you like
I thought you always get that.
No, so this is something that's been growing within America. So I think it's like, I don't know how many like 4 in 10 guys struggle with premature ejaculation. It has a lot to do with the fact that with the rise in porn. And the fact that we have such an easy access to porn, and I think I think they're saying like now kids like at 11 years old, if you ask any boy, I think it's like 9 in 10 boys, if you ask them if they've seen porn, at 11 years old, 9 out of 10 kids will tell you that they've seen porn.
At that, no offense to anybody, but at that age, if your buddies ask you who has watched porn, and you say no, everybody's gonna be like, "Why you? What the hell? How lame are you? Why haven't you watched?" Everybody's like, "Yeah, of course." They're like,
"Yeah, it's the same thing with the."
It's like, "Have you kissed a girl?" Of course, I've kissed a girl. Have you had sex? And you're like, "Of course, man. I'm a pro. I'm a pro." And you're like, "Man, I hadn't even touched the girl."
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. I think recently it's actually true. I mean, how easy? When I was younger, it was a lot harder because there was no such thing as.
Yeah, but they have medicine for that.
Shut up. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that porn wasn't as easy as it is now to search up. I mean, we had phones, but they didn't have internet on them. And if they had internet, it was like the slowest crap in the world. And if you looked up...
I don't know, because a lot of kids would always hack the school computer and put that stuff up. So
there's always ways.
And that's what I'm saying.
If you really wanted it, you could get it.
Okay, well, that didn't happen at my school.
You guys went to the same school.
No, from middle school.
Yeah, I went to a Christian school. But anyways, no. What I'm trying to say is that it has an actual effect, and it's causing a lot of damage within a lot of kids, and as they grow up, it gets even worse, and it starts to affect people as they get older. So Matt Walsh basically was saying we should have restrictions, that the government should step in, and that they should ban all porn in America. So I basically did want to just get your thoughts and what you guys think, if we should or should not ban porn in America. Why or why not?
You do know that porn kind of pushes innovations as well.
How so?
Well, recently it was the VR. They pushed VR. They pushed, I don't know if they were the first to be on VHS, first on CD,
on DVD.
On DVD, something like that. Like, they kind of push some innovation.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, like, do you really want to destroy the culture just so you? But
how is it destroying the culture though?
What culture are you talking about? Because
our culture is becoming so over-sexualized. The institution of marriage is like...
But that's not because of porn, though. That's everywhere. It's in commercials, your movies, advertisements.
Because everything's becoming over-sexualized, and that has a lot to do with the fact that the porn industry is such a large industry.
But the commercials, they're not using porn, though.
they're just using it's sexual. It's just sexual.
Yeah, that's
Porn is different though.
Yeah, it's totally different, but the ease of access makes it easier for kids to grow up on that stuff. So when you watch porn, there's endorphins that are released into your brain. That's why it causes a reaction that happens in your brain. That's why people become addicted to porn.
Sugar does that too.
And that's what I'm saying. But porn is sexualized. So what you're doing is, as a young kid, you're training yourself to have an addiction to porn at such a young age that now when they play these commercials for you that are over sexualized, you're more susceptible to being brought in by those things. You're more susceptible to want that. You're more susceptible to crave that. So you start off at a young age. The more and more that you gain that over sexuality, the more easier it becomes for people to advertise with sex because they know it's going to draw you in. There's a lot of damage that it does.
I think the only damage it does is it's not realistic.
I mean, it's not
like the dudes always have like these foot-long things. It's like that's not how everybody does it. Though, or everybody has carrying.
Edgar saying the only thing it did to me was made me insecure.
No, and then there's also the way that they pleasure the women. They're like it's not realistic. Well, a lot of the stuff they do is just it's a fantasy. It's not realistic.
It's all act upon.
And see, that's another.
That's not how I go at it. Yeah, I'm not like a monkey or anything like that.
And that's another thing that they said.
Monkeys don't do that either.
Really, dude? Have you not seen them?
No.
They're crazy.
And that's another thing that they said it ruins. Though they said it ruins the fact that now boys don't know how to have sex because they assume that what they see in these videos
Movies.
is what's supposed to be when you have sex with someone, but it's not supposed. What they don't realize is that the sensitivity for these girls goes down because they do porn, and when
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat all does that as well. We gotta get rid of them too, or what?
Well, no,
it shows signs of social insecurities. Like wow, everybody wow, this person's got perfect skin. Wow, he's got good muscles. Wow, he's out there like living his life.
Yeah, but see
here,
this
it's doing the same thing where you're bringing yourself down.
Yeah, but here's the difference though. Okay,
and everything is
one's sexual, the other one isn't.
No,
that's
but come on. The only reason people go to Snapchat is for it was made for sexual.
No, it was
sales.
social. It was a social network, but it was abused.
Yeah, it's abused by sexuality for people.
So what does that say?
So
it's sexual in nature.
It's in everything though.
Yeah, but I think that has to.
Wait, it's everywhere though.
Yeah, but I think that has to do with the fact that you have this carelessness when it comes to the porn industry. Not just the porn industry, but
it's not the porn industry pushing that agenda.
No, it's not.
Because sex sells.
I'm not saying that the porn industry pushes that, but I'm saying what it does is
you think if we were to ban porn in America, it would stop porn? It's like trying to stop guns. Or drugs.
Well, yeah,
you just need to educate them. That's it.
Well,
this is a totally different question.
No,
if you ban porn from America, do you think porn is ever going to stop?
No, but what it does is it makes it harder for kids. So look,
and nothing's harder. Nothing's hard to get.
But it makes it harder. Yes, it does. It makes it hard. Yes, it does. It makes it hard.
I can still get cocaine across the street.
That's fine.
Dude,
I can still
put
get
something up there, and the baby will still start stacking, find a way.
So that's totally fine. I can't get cocaine. I don't have that access. I don't know how.
What I'm saying is, if you want something, you'll get it. So I mean, you can.
But it's okay. Here's the difference. Okay, so the ease of access is 10 times different. Okay, so a kid that wants to go into porn, literally all he has to do is turn on his computer and log onto porn.
But then that's the parents' obligation to do blockers. And now a lot of people with their internet providers can go directly and tell them block all this stuff. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be able to access it. So it starts with your parental control.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't not have what it takes to do,
it's called responsibility.
Exactly. If you don't do your responsibility as a parent to block things, everything has blockers. Phones, tablets. And you can start by your internet provider at your house and then get your phone provider and everything in your family to block all that stuff.
So we can't just blame them. We have to also take responsibility.
The porn industry has their disclaimers are you 18 and over to access this?
No, they
yes,
I know. Okay, so they have their disclaimer. What these guys are trying to say, when you log onto the website, all you have to say is, are you 18?
Yeah, that's all their responsibility.
Yeah.
That's their responsibility.
How
Your responsibility
you're not
as
gonna
a
video chat with them and say, hey, I need to just verify. Let me see your license. No,
yeah, but see that's what they should do. Look, when you go to buy cigarettes, okay, you have to show proof of age. You have to be 18 years old. Now it's actually going to be 21.
Angel or Jeffrey, I'm 17 and I can't buy alcohol, but you're over 21. You think you can help me out?
Yeah, but that's not easy. Okay, look.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, remember 10 years ago when you were asking me?
Yeah, but
was it easy or was it not easy?
It's not as easy as being able to go to your room and ask for, or not even. All you have to do is go in your room, go on your phone, and that's it. You're there. You have no restriction whatsoever.
Exactly. But if your parents do the responsible thing as adults and block it, it becomes harder for you to access it.
That's okay. That's one thing. Okay, I do agree with the fact that parents need to hold a higher responsibility to keeping their kids in check, but that's not the only way that kids. So what you have to do is you have to realize that these kids can log on to porn from anywhere. They can go anywhere. It's the easiest thing in the world to. Now, if
they're still able to get in there, that doesn't solve it. You're making it harder, but there's.
No, what you do is you put
the cookie out of the cookie jar.
No,
look, it's simple.
It's
simple. I'm gonna give it to you like this. So simple.
It's like going to the grocery store, okay, and saying, "Look, it's the parents' fault to make sure that the kid doesn't buy alcohol." No, it's the grocery store's responsibility to make sure that kid is not under 21 years old.
Correct.
You can blame the parents and be like, "Well, you should be watching the kid. He shouldn't be buying it." No, but the responsibility in that specific
to a certain extent.
Yes, you should be
to a certain extent.
Yeah, your kid. You should be raising your kid not to go and buy alcohol when he's under 21, but the responsibility of the product falls on the people that are selling the product. Okay, if you're selling alcohol, you have to make sure that you are. If you don't make sure that kid is not 21 years old, you will lose your liquor license. Okay, and that's for alcohol. Now with porn has a major damaging effect on kids as they grow.
Correct.
In so many different ways. And what you're gonna tell me is that the only checker we have is, are you 18 or not? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's the same
parental lock.
It's the same thing with that.
That's their part to do. That's
it's the same thing that alcohol. All you need to do is check your ID, and that's it.
Yeah, but you need to make sure it's real. Look, if a cop goes in with a fake ID and they hand you a fake ID, and the person that's buying the alcohol from you is under 18 years old, if you don't check that ID correctly to make sure that person is over 21, I'm sorry, not 18 but 21, you'll still lose your liquor license. They are held responsible for the product that they are selling. Okay, the porn industry should be held responsible. I honestly don't believe that porn should be banned in America. I personally don't believe that, because I believe that America is set up to be free in the sense that people have the ability to choose what
if it does get banned. I'm just letting you know. Brought to you by Spartan Zombie.
I'm cutting that out and I'm bleeping it out because I'm not going to teach kids how to get porn. But
they're gonna find a way regardless.
Look, okay.
If they find a way at school,
it doesn't solve
to go on Facebook. I'm not even talking about porn.
Look,
I'm saying you're at school. We used to find ways to access Facebook, and it was a blocked site.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the grocery store analogy. It doesn't solve the problem. Do people that are underage buy alcohol?
Nothing solves a problem. Look, if there's a consumer, there's always gonna be a seller. There's always gonna be someone producing it. But drugs, guns, sex, money, laundry, everything.
Here's the thing, though. So what
here's a demand for things. There's always gonna be a seller.
But you're
anything that gets outlawed always finds a way to.
It makes it worse because it's like, all right, well, I gotta.
It always finds a way to the buyer.
Here's the thing. Okay, so to say that is brutally ridiculous in my opinion.
It's not brutally ridiculous.
Yeah, because that's like saying, look,
reality.
People are gonna commit crimes. Why should we have cops? People are always going to commit crimes. They're going to find a way to murder people. They're going to find a way to kill people. And that is true. They're going to find a way to rape people. Why should we even have cops then?
I'm not saying we shouldn't have cops.
No, that's exactly what you're saying. Because what I'm trying to say
is there's always going to be a buyer and there's always going to be a seller.
Okay, so let me ask you, what's the point of having cops?
There is a lot of point.
What's the point?
It's prevention.
Exactly my point.
So if you ban porn it's banned,
No,
you're
I'm
still going to have people making it,
yes,
distributing it,
that's fine,
and somebody to buy it.
That's fine, but there's prevention.
Exactly. I'm not saying you shouldn't prevent it. If that's what you guys want, go for it.
And that's exactly the point.
My thing is, there's always gonna be somebody that wants to watch something they're not supposed to.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But that's why I'm saying I'm not even trying to say that America should. I actually don't agree with that. I don't think America should ban it because I think people do have freedoms in America. They have the freedom to choose how they want to live their lives. The only reason the government should step in is when what they do affects another person. Like if I choose to drive drunk, well, the reason why that qualifies me for being arrested for a DUI is because I could potentially kill somebody else. Now, if I want to get drunk at home and I pass out and I kill myself, well, that's basically my fault. You know, who's going to get arrested for that?
If you were to not die, would you get charged for manslaughter?
I know, right? Well, anyways, but now let's see. Now let's say a child dies. Let's say a child somehow manages to get his hands on alcohol, gets alcohol poisoning, and dies. Okay, so now the responsibility of that is going to fall on the people that sold it to them because they are the ones that weren't supposed to. They were the ones that were supposed to prevent that child from getting the alcohol, so that they didn't do that to themselves. Okay?
How many kids have died from masturbating?
A lot of rug burns.
Yeah.
Well, because you're talking about death, and I'm like, what? Like,
no, but
I don't know people who. I mean,
no,
they do kinky stuff.
No, but okay,
it doesn't get that gruesome.
No, but you're missing the point. Okay.
No, I get it.
No, the point isn't about death. The point isn't about drinking alcohol. The point is about prevention.
But that's how you're comparing it, though. You're like,
no.
This one's like death. And they're like
no,
the same.
you're missing the point. I'm not trying to relate it to death. What I'm trying to relate it to is prevention and how it affects people.
So in your perspective, what would be a good preventative to maybe not ban it, but make it harder to access? Like, what is hard to access, alcohol, because it's so hard to access alcohol and tobacco. And everybody, is smoking nicotine now.
Look, if you try to buy tobacco on the internet, it's brutally difficult, okay? Because you have to go through a process.
I've never seen anybody buy it. Well,
I know from the people that I've heard, like Michael Knowles on Daily Wire, also he talks about it. He's like, look, when I try to buy tobacco on the internet, he's like, because I like cigars and all that stuff. He's like, when I try to buy it, he's like, it's very difficult. He's like, I have to prove that I'm my age. I have to show. I don't know how he does it. I'm not, but that would be one step. Okay, I don't think America should ban porn because, like I said, okay, we have the freedom to choose what we
maybe
do.
Maybe because you use it too much.
No, well, hold on. So, what I'm trying to get is, I don't think America should do that, but I do think that America should hold these porn industry people responsible for the people that take in their products. So I think that they should be held responsible for children that could potentially be using their products. So. But then that means you got movies, advertisement. You got to regulate. Yeah, I think that should be regulated. I don't think we should have billboards with naked chicks on them. I don't think we should have.
We don't.
Yes, we do.
Where?
In certain areas, ban it. But you have areas like LA. If you drive to LA and you go to Vegas, you go to all these different places. There's a lot of places that have billboards.
But there's no nudity in these billboards.
There's no nudity, but it's still sexual.
But
it's highly sexual.
Anything sexual is going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And that's if you're going to take the porn industry down, well, then you got to go get these other guys as well.
And that's what I'm saying. I think there should be restrictions. I don't think it should. I don't think porn and all that should be outlawed. I think there should be restrictions. The same way we have restrictions on alcohol to prevent people that are underage.
But I think
even buying online.
I think your opinion on this is really biased, though.
I don't think it's biased.
I think so because you're taking it more of a moral perspective and less of a community perspective, less of a social. perspective.
That is a community perspective. Because
it's not. Because what appears to me as nothing or as a regular day-to-day billboard will appear to you as something totally sexual, totally harmful.
We're talking about the fact that it's out in the open and kids can see.
Yeah, because it's correct.
But that's
when you're obviously a responsible adult.
Yeah,
you can handle that a little bit better. That's why we have age restrictions.
The main concern is the youth.
Yeah, I don't care about the. That's what I'm saying.
Fucked anyways. I'm just kidding.
I don't think America should ban it. I think adults have the capability to choose what they want or do not want to do. That's up to you. Morally speaking, I don't think you should do it. But I don't think America wasn't set up so that America could tell us that we can't do things that we want. America America is the land of the free. We have the choice to choose how we want to live our lives for the most part. But what I'm saying is that when it affects lives like children's lives, and it's destroying these kids' lives as they grow, because then they become addicted to sex, and it leads to so many different things that ruin their lives and so different.
What's the rate on that?
I don't
being addicted to sex because they masturbate to porn.
It's not just okay. So
I think that if you're addicted to sex, that's more of like a
but you don't
genetics.
But you have to.
I don't think so.
No, because when
it's more
to get addicted to sex.
No, what they
genetics. I don't think so. I think it's more like bad habits.
Yeah, what it has to do with
like an addiction to pleasure, to endorphins.
Yeah, like when you do drugs, there's chemicals that are released. When you watch porn, there's endorphins that are released in your brain, and you get addicted to those endorphins. So
and then as you start building tolerance, it gets harder and harder to get that pleasure.
So you start watching.
So you start doing it more and more.
You start watching more things that are bad. Like they were talking about, like the porn industry doesn't even regulate like the different websites don't regulate on like figuring out whether those people, like a lot of the people that are recorded are people that are not doing it willingly. It's people that are trafficked. And they have no way of actually regulating whether or not. And then they have things that they get like into bondage. They get things that are and they say that kids that watch that growing up from a young age, like Jeff says, the more and more tolerant they become of these things, the more and more they're likely to delve into these hardcore things. And the more and more, it's just damaging. So my thing is that I think they should hold the porn industry responsible for this.
There's a lot that could be said.
There is. That's why it was a big thing on the internet.
It's too much for let's say us to discuss, but I mean I'm not completely against regulation. If there was to be a regulation about it, I'm all for it. Go ahead.
Why not, instead of hiding it, why not like discuss it? You know, you're not gonna get into details, but you just discuss it.
The birds and the bees?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you gotta discuss it. Like, you gotta discuss it with your kid. It's one thing when it's at school and they tell you, because you don't know if you're paying attention or not. Yeah. But when you're with your parents, for the most part, they force you to pay attention.
And I kind of disagree with that. Well, not with you. I kind of disagree with how we do it now. I think parents have the majority or the responsibility to talk to their kids about having sex. I think that to let strangers talk to your kids about having... I mean, they're having what...
but okay, so the thing about that is every single time religion always gets in the way, and they're just like they shame it. So it's like, don't even think about it. Don't like... The best, it's communication.
Yeah, but
that usually the ones that are hardcore are the ones that are they have the really strict parents.
Yeah, but okay, but you're getting into something else. I'm talking about communally, and I know what you're trying to get at, and this is where I would say that me personally, and this is where I think this is what I think the parents' responsibility is. I think the government's responsibility is to take care of the kids. I think that they should.
Why? They didn't create them.
No, but that's what governments are set up for. Governments
are supposed to help. They're not supposed to take over. They're supposed to help.
Exactly. So I think governments are supposed to protect our lives. Okay, so the government's supposed to make our lives better, and they're supposed to protect our lives, and they're supposed to protect us from killing one another. So that's why we have officers and all this stuff. That's why we have restrictions on alcohol, so that kids don't go kill themselves drinking alcohol. Okay, so and I think that's the same thing with porn. Now, it doesn't seem like it to us because it's not such a visible destruction that we see. But there's a lot of people that struggle with porn. I mean, what was it?
A lot of people that struggle.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the main cause. I think that was more of like a crutch or something that they just fell onto. Like, if you get to the main cause, that would probably go.
Well, but
for some people, their addiction with porn
it is
the cause of their demise.
Yeah, it causes a lot of depression.
And funny enough, there's a whole show about it on MTV. Like, I think it was like addictions or something like that, and there's like one episode where it shows a guy that's extremely addicted to porn.
Yeah. And
he still lives with his mom, you know. There's pizza and stuff all over the place.
There's just a ton of things that come from
that. Typical
No, I'm just saying. I don't even remember. It was like 20 years ago, I think.
Like, well, all I'm trying to say is that I think that we should have harder restrictions that protect our children. Now, morally speaking, I think that
Put 'em in a
a lot
bubble.
of the responsibility of teaching kids how to deal with this does fall on the parents. But I think where the government can't step in, I don't think that the government should be able to ban all porn, but I do think that the government should be able to draw restriction and penalize these porn industries for not doing
It's the
anything
same
about it.
thing
or
as
not-
music, man. All you have to do is slap a label that says it's for adult content only.
Yeah, that's what the.
That's what the
18 and
government-
over-
Yeah,
That's
but
what
here's
the
the
government-
difference between that, because if you go online and you want to try to buy an album, or if you go to a store and you want to buy an explicit album, you have to have proof of age.
You have your. Come on, bro. How old are you?
No, that
When Eminem came out,
hold on,
it was
we're-
already explicit, and you had somebody buy it for you.
and that's what I'm saying.
It's
but
the same thing over. It's the same thing.
That's
over
not
and
a good
over again.
argument, because that's like saying, okay, people can still rape, people can still murder. We shouldn't have cops.
But
Well,
they
it's
do.
prevention.
What I'm saying
It's
is
prevention. That's all it is.
it's
Look,
the same thing going over.
Look. No, this is what
Everything
this is
is
what it
always
does.
gonna have.
Let's say there's 100 kids, right? You have no prevention laws, okay? And 100 of those kids, by the time they hit 11 years old, they start watching porn. Okay. More than half of those kids end up ruining a lot of their lives. Okay, now if you add prevention, okay, let's say you add very strict prevention, and half of those kids still watch porn, and then half of those kids get their lives ruined. You dropped 9 or 8 kids from having their lives ruined to about 3 kids having their lives ruined. Is it still going to happen? Yes, it's still going to happen, but that prevention helps more kids in the long run.
So
that's my whole take. I mean,
yes,
you're never going to end it, but you're going
I'm
to
giving
prevent
you
a
an
lot more kids from
example.
having their lives ruined.
It's an old example, but it might not be relevant now, but it was when I was growing up. So in Europe, some countries the legal age to drink is 16. And then some countries is 18, and then the US is 21, Mexico is 18. But in countries that you are accustomed to drinking and you have it more of a social thing with your family, and you start at a younger age, does not develop in major alcoholism, and there's less crime or destruction or DUIs from alcohol than other countries where they try to regulate it and ban it and put stricter laws on it. It kind of becomes of something that it makes it where it's accepted to have a glass of wine and drink when you're in the table with your family.
Yeah, but
and less of, you're not supposed to do that. You know what they say, you have somebody and you tell them that you're not supposed to do something, they're gonna want to do it more. So if you're totally gonna ban something, somebody's gonna want to keep doing it and keep doing it. Same thing with drugs, alcohol, tobacco. Now you got your electric cigarettes that no matter what they try to do, kids are still popping those things.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Trying to ban things isn't the problem. What you need to do is teach people and show them the proper way and how to use stuff, you know? People, education.
how to use porn correctly.
I mean, no. Well, this is an example. Yeah, why not?
One video
Why not?
a day, and nothing.
Here's how to
and
use
nothing,
the search bar.
and nothing too hardcore.
Don't
Okay.
forget to filter.
Yeah, stop.
If you go into bondage, that's it. You're
No,
done.
it's the birds and the bees. That's where you start.
But
I get
if
what
you
you're
take
saying.
something totally radical and then it's like a lot of countries, you know, I'm not even gonna go to countries. You go to Texas and they have guns laying around everywhere. And then what it's for, and you know how to use it. And they had perfectly examples of a guy breaking in, trying to rape his sister. He knew where the guns were. He knew where the shotgun is. He took care of business. That's how you teach people. Everything, if you teach kids the proper way of what things are for, this is a tablet, it's for you to play, not for you to watch excessive porn, and it's in HD, so don't do that. They'll start learning. A gun is for
Don't
you to
watch
shoot.
those hot women.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not some of them.
Don't do it.
I mean, you can take it the way you want to take it, but when you
not good for
educate
you.
people, you know, it doesn't avoid the problem, but it does make it less.
No, I actually agree with Jeff. I get what he's trying to say, and I do think that like I said, I think a large part of the responsibility does fall on the parents. Where I think the government can step in is I think that they should penalize a lot of these porn industries and make it so that these.
I don't think so. I don't think they should penalize.
I don't think they should ban it, but I think that they should penalize them. And
I don't think so. Because penalizing it is giving them a penalty for something that they're not subjected to do.
Yes,
if they're not subjected
for the same reason why the grocery stores are subjected to.
But because that's the law.
Yes,
there is no law yet. So why would somebody get penalized if there's no law?
That's what I mean by penalizing them. Create a law.
Well, then
create a law
that's the government
that holds these porn industries responsible for drawing restrictions for kids. Look, we can argue about the age later. I mean, once we put in the law that that they have to draw on these restrictions to.
What's the age? What do you think it's an appropriate age for somebody to watch anime porn? Let's start with anime porn.
You're a legal adult at 18. So.
Yeah, you're a legal adult.
But why?
What do you mean why?
It has to do with brain development. Like 21 is like a certain.
Come on, bro.
Full brain development is at 25.
Yeah, but
hold on.
Who's 21 or 18 and hasn't had sex yet? It's rare. Nowadays, because kids are having sex when they're like 10, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
So you think porn is really affecting them?
Yes, that's why.
No.
That's why they become so lackadaisical.
Hell no.
Where's your proof of that?
That's why.
Where's your proof that all these the younger kids are getting in bed together because of porn?
Because the culture has become so comfortable with over-sexuality.
I bet you they saw it in movies before they.
It doesn't matter. The culture has become so. The culture has become so comfortable with over-sexuality that now it's not that big of an issue. Now it's
they're making a big deal out of it.
We'll blame Mary Magdalene.
Huh?
They're making a big deal out of it.
We'll blame Mary Magdalene.
Well, okay. I honestly, personally think that the government should hold restrictions to protect the kids. I think what we should be focusing.
Go ahead.
I think what we should be focusing on is the kids. Now, I think
the kids.
If you add restrictions for the government to put on these porn industries to protect the kids, and then you take it a step further and you have the parents teach these kids how they're supposed to be responsible with all this stuff, I think that will go so much further in protecting these kids and helping them to grow. I think that would be the best option. I don't think that the government should step in and ban porn. I actually disagree with that. I think people should hold themselves personally responsible for how they wanted to live their lives morally. Now, I do think that there should be restrictions on age limits to protect kids. That's basically my thoughts. I mean, unless you guys think differently, you could throw that in there, but if not, let's move on to Star Wars. I'm done talking about porn.
Educate your kids.
Educate your kids.
That's it.
Do whatever you want. I don't care as long as it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, or everybody else.
Now, in reality, I think there should be some more regulations, and it starts with your family, with your parents, and then the porn industry has to obey by the regulations.
They are.
But the regulation in place as of the moment. But if the government were to put more regulations, everything should go in the guidelines. But it all starts with your family and your parental controls. Not blame the porn industry for something that parents are doing wrong. And obviously, the porn industry is abiding by the law. You can't penalize them, or you can't say they're doing something wrong when they're going by the law.
Yeah, but
they're doing an age button, and that's what the law tells them to do. If they had something where you have to be like, give me your DNA and prove that you're 21 years old, and people would have to do that, then they would have to abide by that law. But as of the moment, there's no laws to make them do else.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the argument, though.
And then I agree.
That's the whole point of the argument.
The point of the
argument is that I think that the government should make these restrictions.
And when they do, the porn industry will obey.
Yes.
As of right now, it's the parents' responsibility. And if people think that the porn industry is at fault, then you're a bad parent.
Yeah, right now, since there's no laws, I have to agree with them on that one. There is no law, so for right now, I think a large amount of it has to do with the fact that parents should be responsible for it.
Win.
But I do think that the parents should be responsible in forcing the government to make those regulations. All right, so on to Star Wars, because I'm getting tired of talking about porn. Star Wars came out, I think, it actually comes...
Today.
I feel like it does that like half the time. So Star Wars comes out today. I know it came out for the critics yesterday, and the critics' reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are about 60%. It's rotten right now. It's actually been fluctuating from what I heard. I think it went to like 53 and then back up to 60. If you want to pull it up, I don't know.
If you pay attention to what they say, it doesn't look good.
Yeah,
they all kind of sound the same.
Yeah, they're all trashing it, saying that none of it makes sense. But a lot of people are saying that the reason why is because Rian Johnson, was it Rian Johnson? No, I'm sorry. J.J. Abrams and what's her name? The chick that runs Disney. What's her name? Not Disney. She runs Lucasfilm.
Oh, okay.
Kathleen Kennedy. They were saying that both of them started trashing Rian Johnson in the last movie.
Who's Rian Johnson?
The one that so The Force Awakens was produced by J.J. Abrams, and then the one after that was, what was it? The Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one was
Rise of Skywalker.
Was it right? Isn't that what this one is?
Or is it this one?
No, this is the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, this one's the right. Last
right
one.
now it says a 57%.
So yeah, it's rotten. That's from critics' reviews.
Wow.
So they're saying that because
I'll wait till it's in the Dollar Tree. I mean, in the dollar store.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm gonna do, because I'm trying really hard to buy. I want to watch it just because I want to see how crappy it turned out, but at the same time, I don't want to give Disney my money, so I'm like,
I already do.
yeah, I don't know. I heard the ending was horrible. That a lot of people were pissed about the ending.
This franchise is totally destroyed.
They're just trying to end it, right?
They're just trying to end it
and then just continue after.
That supposedly they made a spoiler alert. So if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, so spoiler alert. Apparently Rey is like the Mary Sue out there. So by the end of the movie, the reason why she wins is because she has like every single Jedi in the entire Jedi
on her side, like the ghost,
inside
the
of her.
Ghosts.
They're like in her, so she's like every Jedi in one.
Wow, talk about.
So she's a reincarnation of all the Jedi.
No,
I don't know.
It's just like everybody's spirit lives in her, right?
Yeah, so they
Something
like
similar to that.
So she's a boat for the spirits.
basically. I don't know how it works, but she has like all their powers in one.
Damn, I never would have guessed that. I was like, who is she related to?
Oh man, I should. Oh no, why?
She is related to somebody, right?
Huh?
She is related to somebody.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say because I don't want to ruin it, just in case you want to watch it. But anyways, so
Tupac. I think she's related to Tupac.
So basically, this chick comes out of nowhere, has no training, has no
knowledge
experience
of
with
the
the
Force.
Force, no anything, and all of a
Her
sudden,
midichlorians are under angels. Like,
Yeah.
so how are you that powerful?
I don't
What?
know.
Midichlorians?
That's like the stuff. That
It's how they rate how good of a Jedi you're gonna be.
Like
Well,
it's
I'm
in
level
your.
9,000. So
Nah,
like
it
your
only
blood.
goes up to 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. So apparently she kicks ass and she's the best Jedi that ever lived because she has. They pretty much destroyed the Force, in my opinion, right? Because the Force makes no sense now. Like, why didn't the Force just enter into Luke to kill Palpatine to begin with at the beginning? You know, it's
Because you can't enter it on a male. It has to be a female.
oh, okay, that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Now, okay.
That's
so
why everybody used to be males and then they all entered.
That's why we needed a female.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I never would have guessed. I honestly never. Maybe that's the reason why we needed a female Jedi. So
there's only male Jedis in her?
All the males are inside of her.
No, because there's female Jedis too.
Who?
Yeah, but did you see
Ahsoka Tano.
That's the one with that blue striped hair, right?
Yeah, everybody loved that chick.
Oh yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, everyone says that she's badass. I've always liked Star Wars. I've never been a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I've always been I've always really liked Star Wars. I always thought it was fun. The Mandalorian right now is badass. I love that show. Yeah, really cool.
So good. Let's talk about Mandalorian again instead. It's more relevant. It's a lot better. Mini Yoda is.
Did you guys,
I was gonna say I love Mini Yoda, Baby Yoda. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
watching.
spoilers. Did you guys see the last one at the very
Yeah.
end? I was like, finally, he's here.
Who?
The spoiler. You guys didn't see that?
I don't
You
remember.
guys didn't hear the clinking at the very end?
Oh, they're thinking that's Boba Fett because the clinking matches his armor. I don't know that it's gonna be Boba Fett. I don't think they'll bring.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that and watch it in slow
Supposedly in
mo.
the
It's like the
comics,
same sound
he
effect.
comes out of the pit, the monster pit that he fell in. And what was it? Was it the second movie or the third movie?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He
But
falls in there, and then I guess he escapes, and then with the whole his spurs, because he has spurs, so
Yeah.
they're saying that it might be him.
yeah, but a lot of people are thinking that they're not gonna bring him in because if you bring him in, then it's gonna detract a lot of
Tight.
attention. So many people love Boba Fett that if you bring him in, people are going to be like, well, what the hell happened with it? People are going to be more focused on Boba Fett than
Nah,
they're
I don't
gonna be
think
on
so.
Obi-Wan.
No, well, that's what I originally thought, but I don't think so. Everybody loves
No.
this guy. This guy's really good. The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but we're getting to know the guy. I don't know.
I
No,
think
his
it's gonna be
acting
further
just-
on the line.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone likes
he's
it,
good.
so I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't know it was the guy from Game of Thrones that plays him.
Which one?
He's the guy that.
He's on the Escobar 2 one. Remember how there's the white cop and the Mexican cop?
No.
Very first Narcos. With
Oh
Escobar.
yeah.
He's
yeah,
the
the
Mexican
guy.
one.
Yeah, oh, the Mexican one.
It's Pedro something.
No, Pedro Infante. That's something else. Man. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, this fool.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Gangsta.
Yeah, no, he does it
good.
pretty good. He
He's
does
legit.
he does a good job. And even the voice sounds cool, I think.
Yeah, but I think they muffle his voice, right?
Yeah, well, duh.
Well,
They gotta give him a suit
helmet.
voice.
Yeah.
But he sounds legit like, what is he Mexican?
I don't know.
He sounds so white.
Latin. Well, yeah, he's whitewashed, but he's Latin.
Alright guys, so that's all we got for you today. I hope you guys had a good time. If not, leave a thumbs down, but please leave a thumbs up because we're trying to grow. We need a couple followers here.
A couple. My mom's not doing enough work.
I know. My mom
So-
doesn't even want to follow. So
She said, I ain't subscribing to you.
I don't even follow. But anyways, thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thanks for joining. This was Jeffrey
Angel,
Edgar.
and Omar,
who's not here.
who's not here, says, peace and may the force be with you.
Bye. Let's get out of this dump.